So let's say a big hello to Miss Doris Dalton.
Oh, and she's on the phone.
Oh, I'm calling Captain Antonio. Is Captain Antonio there?
You got the right number.
Yes.
Although I do like the one that you were saying earlier, Paul. Let me put my princess phone down. Earlier, Paul, what were you saying? What were you calling her from?
Lovey.
I love that. It sparked a memory. I was like, all right, let's toast.
Yeah,
cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Yeah. Speaking of Gilligan's Island,
one of my favorite coffees, and you're addicted to it too.
Anyone knows if there's an addiction to anything, it's me and Dunkin' Donuts. They really should hire me to be their spokesperson.
yes.
Because I drink Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, I'm actually probably thinking about just getting it injected into my veins. That's what I'm thinking about doing.
You look beautiful, and we're so glad that you're on the show. It's been a long time, although Paul knows that I did get a chance, which is how this is even happening today, to reconnect with you. When was that, Doris? Was that in February that you were here in Florida before the whole shutdown started?
It was. I had, interesting enough, I'm one of the, when QVC and HSN merged, it was always that kind of QVC and HSN were rivals, right? They were these big rivals, and, you were either QVC or you were HSN, and that was it.
Right.
And then when they blended, there were a few of us that actually got to cross over. And I was so fortunate that they said, hey, would you like to, we don't know how it's going to work. We don't know, they were just starting to figure everything out. And they were like, would you like to be one of those ones and try it? And of course, I never say no to anything. It'd be jumping out of I don't care, whatever it is. I never say no. Only one time. I mean, if it's painful, I'll say no.
You do have your limits.
I do have my limits. So it was funny because I got to go down to HSN, and I adore everyone down there, and they're already feel like family. And I'm on the flight flying down there with one of our old nemesis, Kathy Levin. Kathy Levin, and all of a sudden, and then there you were, Judy, at lunch, and I got to see you, and it was, I mean, it's so funny because so much time goes through in people's lives, right? Like years turn into whatever. But really good friends and good people, time kind of stands still. So it was like, oh my gosh, I see Judy, and I'm like, blah, 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 and then all blah, 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 and I'm like, it's like no time has passed whatsoever.
Exactly. And that is what is so much fun. And you just pick right back up where you left off. And that's why I kind of wanted to do that for everybody else, to remind them Miss MoodMatcher Lipsticks has evolved into so much more. I mean, you heard the introduction. I want to talk to you about all of the travel, and are all the QVCs really different, or are they all exactly alike around the world?
Well, interesting. They're all really different. They really are different. I was the first American beauty guest to ever go on QVC Japan. Yeah. And then tonight we actually are kicking off a TSV in Germany. And then we have a TSV Tuesday in Italy. Unfortunately, I can't fly there, so I'll Skype in, and we have a wonderful German gal that's going to go on, and we have a wonderful Italian gal. But I'll Skype in for all the shows. But normally I would be there, and this is this was going to be literally my busiest week of the year, because I had planned and to take off for the next 2 weeks because my daughter-in-law is starting to get some contractions. I need grandma.
Wow.
I know, this is so exciting. So when is she due?
She's due on June 2nd. And I'll get back to the QVC thing. You have to remember, I have like this massive ADD. I jump all over the place. I can't ever stay in one place. But she's due June 2nd. I'm so excited. It's a little boy. And, I'm like, okay. And I keep my phone, normally at nighttime before I go to bed, I turn my phone off. But now I'm keeping it on in case I get the call. I can't go inside. Only my son's allowed to go inside. But I'm going to be in the parking lot. I don't care. I've got Dunkin' Donuts ready. Myself and my friend Anna and Kate's mom, Michelle, we're all going to just camp out in the parking lot at the hospital, you know, FaceTiming, just waiting for this little baby to come.
Oh, I'm
So
so
wait.
excited.
Most
So
important,
excited for
most
you.
important question. So what is this grandson going to call you? Have you figured that out?
Gigi?
yeah, I'm going to be Gigi, and I'm going to tell you.
We had
I'm going to tell you
talk
what,
over
when
this
my
at
son
lunch.
used to do stuff, and he was bad when he was little, and he used to pull some stuff out of, you know, I go, I'm going to tell your mother. We'd be in public, he'd pull all kinds of stuff, and I'd be like, I'm going to tell your mother. You know, but I don't know. Gigi is my thing, and they got me for Mother's Day. They got me this really cute blue sweatshirt that says Gigi, so I'm going to wear that to the parking lot, and I'm just going to camp out with my Dunkin' Donuts and, you know, some Pop-Tarts and some candy. I'm not healthy like you, Judy. I wish I was. I look at Judy's body, and I'm going to tell you something. Judy has been that fit since I've known her. She has been this big kind of health and sports enthusiast, and I've actually always admired that. I've always admired that. I'm quite honestly a little lazy because I can eat as well as Judy can exercise. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the QVCs around the world they're very different. Some are a little bit more laid back, some are a little bit more stringent. But they all the people are nice though. I mean, I think when you go around the world, I become friends with all of them, and I've been doing it for so long, most of my life, I feel, you know, since I was 30. I've been doing that. Oh, that was only a year because I'm only 31. But yeah, no, they're very similar. They're all really helpful. It's interesting to go to all these places, quite honestly. Oh my God, she's showing pictures, Alberti. That's my daughter-in-law.
Oh, that's her. So she's the girl having the baby.
Like right now, she looks like she ate a watermelon. Yeah. So
that's neat.
It's really interesting, and I'm very honored that the brand has been so successful, and everyone has kind of encompassed my vision of what I've tried to create, and it's so well received around the world, and I'm just blessed really to be on this journey. If you would have asked me 30 years ago, would I be QVC, HSN, traveling around the world, have a beauty line? I'm like, no, I'm a chiropractor. It's what I do. I'm a doctor. I enjoy working on patients and doing all of this stuff. So you never know where life's going to take you, right?
Yeah, no, that's very true. And it's cute that speaking of where life is going to take you, there are so many women who are watching today who saw your show the other day with Kathy. And I'm one of them. I tuned in and listened to you guys chat. And when you did all the fire questions at her, the 20 questions, the speed dial, and she was good. I mean, she had an answer for everything really, really fast. And then there are even people watching who won some of the giveaways that you did on your show.
Yay!
Do you have any kind of regular show, or do you just kind of turn on the cameras when you feel like it and people find you if they find you when you go live?
Well, it's interesting because I used to have a regular show, and it was Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, and I did tutorials, and I did it every Wednesday night. But what happened as everything started to grow, and I'm only one person, I started I would be in the UK, and of course, you know, the time difference is so different there. It's 6 hours ahead in one country, it's 5 hours ahead in another country, it's 12 hours ahead in another country. I mean, we even do Australia. So it became really hard for Wednesday nights to be like this static show. But I love Facebook, and I'm going to tell you why. I think, and Judy and Paul, you guys can agree with me on this one. It's one thing when you're like in front of the camera and you're speaking and you're doing your thing. But it's another thing, like through Facebook, when you get to read what everyone says, you really get to connect with everyone, right?
Exactly.
And that's what I love. I love connecting with people. I'm like, a huge people person. I mean, I don't care who you are, where you live, what country, you speak English, you don't speak English. I don't really care.
Right.
I just love people. You know, I just do.
You're a hugger.
I know. And the only thing that I really am very frustrated at. Listen, I know the world is a little crazy right now and there's a lot of craziness going on, but I don't know how I will break that habit, because I will come up and hug you. I mean, that's just what I do. I'm like, I'm not like, hello, nice to meet you. No, I'm bringing it in. I'm a hugger, bring it in. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that that changes, you know, that I can go back to my hugging ways.
Me too,
You know?
because it seems so awkward to see people that you know and that you care about and that are friends, and not to be, you know, just to feel like, I think we're feeling like that now in society. We're kind of moving, even with strangers, just moving even that much further away when they pass, you know, kind of
or even
turning
friends,
your
it's
back.
the elbow bump or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's sad. I do listen. I understand that in the beginning of this, we were looking at a very an unforeseen enemy. No one knew what it was. No one knew what it was about. And I think as the data starts to kind of unravel, I would really like to see some of the news and the media start actually changing that fear, because there's a lot of fear mongering going on, because they just keep pounding like the deaths and this and that, not how many people are surviving, not the good things that are happening, what they're finding out. And I think it's real. People have become so scared. And I know my friend Anna called me yesterday, and she goes, you're not going to believe what happened to me. And I was like, what? And you know Anna, Judy, right? Do you remember Anna, Dr. Anna? She did body fitness.
Yes. Tell her I said hi. I love her.
I will. I told her that I was going to be on with you, and Paul, she said the same thing.
Oh, really? How cute.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So she said she was at the grocery store, you know, picking up some stuff, and she was keeping whatever, that safe distance. And some man just yells at her and says, "You're too close." And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, well, unfortunately, I think people are just really, really scared. And I mean, that's the only thing. It only takes 3 weeks to start a new habit. That's why I haven't worked out yet.
You're afraid you'll get addicted to it, huh? I can change that. I can change that. I'm going to turn you on to my videos. I'm going to send you one every single day. Ding. There's another one on your phone. Ding. Until you have.
I actually would like that. Because I'm going to tell you something. At first, when this whole thing started, I'm like, gosh, this is really crazy. This is surreal. I never really thought in my lifetime like something like this would happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, you know, it's kind of like out of a sci-fi movie. Like, I think I watched this movie, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago.
Right.
And the next thing you know, like, everybody's in their house and like all this craziness. So, so I gave that as a green light for myself to just indulge and overeat. And M&Ms and Pop-Tarts and tacos and I don't know, you name it. I was just eating it because you know, it's like when you're pregnant, you have 9 months. So you have an excuse. To eat.
Right.
Doris, imagine the pressure of living with someone who's so fit.
He picked up his weights again.
Do it.
He's picked up his weights again, but he's also a big basketball player. So he stays fit and trim because he's running the courts for 3 hours like every other day.
I'm waiting for the professional over 60 league so I can play in it.
Paul, does everyone know your guys' story? Because it's really interesting, because I remember when, and like I said, I've been at QVC forever. I mean, literally, I think the only person there was longer than maybe Kathy and Mary Beth, you know, but
Speaking of, take a look at your screen.
There you go.
There's
I can't fit into that dress anymore.
I love that jacket. I thought, oh, that must have been like Christmas time. And sure enough, there's a tree in the background, because I thought your jacket is beautiful.
Yeah, I remember that. That was during one of, I think, Lisa's Posh shows. I mean, like years and years and years ago.
Yes.
Lisa would be happy because she looks cute. You know,
She
we still talk
does.
every day. And that's Joy. Joy, the model in the middle. I don't know if people remember that.
I was gonna impress you and tell you who that was, because I do remember Joy, and she really is a joy, and it's just so cool that she's still there and working with you.
Do you know she actually doesn't model anymore?
Oh, no?
She actually started her own modeling company, and she handles, I'm going to say 95% of the, in books, 95% of the models at QVC.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, she just was like, I mean, I love her. I mean, like I said, it's so interesting, because I think that the world that we live in, between like the QVCs and the HSNs of the world, it's a very different type of life. And I do believe that you just become family. It's like, you know what I mean? You don't forget people, you become family with everyone. And it's like, I don't even feel like it's my work family. Like I'm so connected still with everyone. And I remember, oh, there's my Lily. I love that girl.
Leah Williams. So good to see that shot too.
Yeah.
I love that. And you guys look like you're having so much fun, almost as though somebody punked you.
Let me tell you something. That woman is such a delight. Now, that was a little bit older, because I don't know if you've been following Judy, but she did the fitness thing like you did. She is a tall drink of water now. Let me tell you something. Like, she's super, super fit, just gorgeous. And you know what I love about Leah is, what you see is what you get. She's super classy, super funny, super engaged. And I don't know, she has like this great sense of style. And I just enjoy her so much. I really do. I love AM Styles with her. And you remember Jane Rudolph Tracy started AM Style back in the day.
Yes, definitely. Sure. Yep. Well,
so anyway, so wait, Captain and Tennille. So I remember when Paul started. Paul's the young, single, hot guy at QVC. Do you remember? He starts working. He's like, I know.
Nobody told me this.
Do this, Paul. So I remember this all very well. And Paul, you're always engaging, but a little bit shy, don't you think, Judy? He was a little quieter back then.
What happened?
Maybe we were just all a big handful. You know, there's a lot of personality in
the
there.
weirdest thing is, even ever since college days, I was always in public in front of people. And as you know, being on TV in front of a bunch of people is a lot different than interacting with them in person. So, but I do like a live audience, but one-on-one, I don't really do. I'd rather be in front of 10,000 people.
He's a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember when the rumor got out that Judy and Paul were dating. I remember.
Like my cheeks hurt. I'm smiling so big. We were like, nobody knows.
Yeah,
nobody knows. And it had been going on for about a year. And of course, everybody knew. Yeah, everybody. And then we used to have host meetings once a week. I'm sure they still do. But we also had a Christmas party once a year. And it was a what did they call those? Secret Santa, where you had a Secret Santa. And I think it was Dan Wheeler who got me. And so he got up and he's doing this whole poem. And involved in the poem, he's interweaving the Paul story, and everybody's kind of looking over at me. And I'm sure I was just like as red or as rosy as the curtain behind you. And I was so embarrassed, but I also thought, yeah, the cat's out of the bag. And I'll admit it, I'm so happy.
Judy, we all knew, like, after the first week, don't even kid yourself. We all knew. We were like, okay, you know, we were like, Judy and Paul. But I'm so glad that it really is a true love story. I mean, I know that you guys have kind of went from QVC to Jewelry TV to HSN, and the expert knowledge that you bring to gemstones, Paul. And I don't know, I just know that, and even Kathy used to say, it's just a true love story. I mean, it's one of those ones that you would wish that everyone could have that kind of relationship. And I just think that you two are really blessed.
Yeah, we're very happy. Our parents knew before we did.
Did they?
Yes.
They were our moms were making suggestions to,
unbeknownst to
yeah,
either of us.
to each of us about, "Hey, what about him? Like, he seems like a really nice guy." And but at the same time, his mom was saying to him, "What about that Judy? Like,
Yeah.
she's really good, and I like her personality. And what about somebody like that?" Isn't that funny? And then when they finally met, talk about a love story. These two women are so connected at the hip that they can be in a room with 100 people and not notice anybody but each other. They're so compatible. It's really cute.
So where was your first date?
Oh,
The Flying Pig.
The Flying Pig.
In Malvern. No, actually, technically.
Yeah, technically that's not quite true. That's where the date ended up.
Yes.
It started somewhere else.
It started. Was that the General Warren?
General Warren.
Yeah, General Warren Inn. We had dinner.
Yeah, General Warren.
Yep.
And then we decided that we weren't done with each other yet.
We didn't want the night to end.
So we went to the Flying Pig.
Well, because we went to the General Warren Inn, and then we went to a movie, and then we went back to the General Warren Inn because we'd left one of the cars there. And neither of us were ready to leave, and it was probably midnight, so nothing else was open. So we walked up around the corner, and the Flying Pig, this motorcycle bar, was still open. We must have closed the place down at 2:00 in the morning. I kid you not, we were the last ones to leave. And that night, he held my hand.
Did he kiss
and
you?
I said, he did.
I announced that I was going to do it.
He announced that he was going to kiss me. And I said, "Well, what took you so long?"
It was a big. And what did I say?
He said, "High risk, high reward." And I said, "Well, what does that mean?" And he said, "Well, I like you so much and we've been friends for so long that I don't want that to end. And
I don't want to ruin it.
This doesn't work, then that will be ruined." And I didn't want to go there. And I said, "Well, why now?" He said, "What did you say?"
What the hell?
It's worth giving it a try.
I love that.
Yeah. And you know what, Doris? I knew from that night on that was how it was supposed to feel, that I wanted to be with this guy, that it was such an easy relationship. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you know how sometimes when you get into a relationship and you're flying high and you don't even feel your feet on the ground?
Yes.
It wasn't like that. My feet were firmly planted on the ground.
Yeah, I know.
It was so comfortable. It was so easy. And as people say, I married my best friend. Now I know exactly what they mean. We've been inseparable for 19 years.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, when we left QVC, we had a non-compete clause. So we had basically a whole year, 24/7, traveling all over the world, doing what you do when you have a non-compete clause.
Right.
And it's just never a problem. So, you're hearing about the COVID divorces now. But we're like,
they're together too long.
Yeah, that's just another day for us because we're together 24/7.
I love that. And it's so funny because even Kathy Levin and I were talking about that you guys were just truly a real love story. It's a real, true love story. And I think what you see with Judy is what you get. She's, like you say, sometimes people have these big personalities and then they're different. But Judy, you've always been this consistent kind of ray of light. And when you meet, and she's always has that smile that you see. It's always there. That smile is, and it's one of the things I admire. She has the most welcoming, most beautiful smile. And it could be a FaceTime call or whatever. And as soon as you see it, she just always has this beam of light and this wonderful smile. And Paul always has kind of like this really funny nitwit, like he gets like you don't even know he's getting you, but he's got like this wit about him. So I don't know. I'm just so happy that you guys are still together and doing what you love. And look at this beautiful background. And I haven't been to the home yet, but one of these days on Sunday Funday,
oh yeah,
I'm coming because I know it's close to HSN.
Yeah, for sure. And when have you heard that everything's going to open up and it's no longer necessary for it to be a Skype call and you can actually be there in person? Because when you do come back to Florida, you'll have to come over. We'd love for you to even be in one of our In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy shows.
You so want me to be in the kitchen with you because I'll be pouring
No,
wine.
I got it. I got it. It's going to be Pop-Tarts, Hot Pockets, that kind of thing.
That's what we
Well,
can
just
expect.
so you know,
Doris.
Pop-Tart wise, Paul, I like to toast them, and I really like the cherry ones now have become my favorite. I've gone through every flavor. I like to toast them, and then I like to put a thin, nice layer of butter.
Right.
Of what? Oh, of butter?
Butter.
Oh, butter.
Sorry,
you don't want it to be overdone.
I have forgotten those
It has
days.
to be just so.
They can't get too crispy on the outside, but that butter soaks in around that crust. You know, that's good stuff. I'm not even going to lie about it. That is some good stuff. I love me a good Pop-Tart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm going on to next. I did tacos yesterday. I ate so many tacos yesterday, you would have thought it was Cinco de Mayo.
Well, our Sunday tradition has become baked brie.
Yeah.
I love baked brie. Do you put
That's a
on
good
it?
indulgence. That's a serious indulgence.
Oh yeah, brown sugar on it, walnuts,
Mhm.
and a nice Merlot. We do
course.
cabs sometimes.
Yeah.
But
We mix it up.
Brie seems to be our Merlot.
Bread, sliced apples, crackers,
Sliced apples, yes.
bread, sliced
Exactly.
apples.
And you know what
Sliced
else you
apples
should
with
do
brie.
when you do a baked brie? First of all, I have so many links I want to send you from my videos on YouTube. So I'm going to send you a different video. I'll give you a break. I'll send you one every third day for working out.
No, you can just bring them. Just bring them.
Just bring them. They're only 10 minutes, Doris. You can do it. And
I can give you 10 minutes. That's for sure.
All I need is 10 minutes. And then I'm going to send you the baked brie video that we did in one of our In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy segments.
The first one or the second one?
I haven't edited the second one yet. It's still on the computer. The first one.
Something happened.
Oh, it's so fun. You'll really get a kick out of that. So yes, so you'll have a lot of good entertainment ahead of you when I start sending you these things.
You know what? I love like really great recipes that are really quick and easy that are just yummy and delicious. I have some up my sleeve. I have some really quick, easy, awesome recipes that would make you look like a chef, like you're like, just trained.
Wait a minute. So she needs to send us the recipe that we will perform.
Yes. So we can be ready for you.
So
we'll have all the ingredients.
We get them. We don't practice. We do it live.
Well, we just go
live to tape.
Who pours the wine?
Me.
As I said, once all this craziness, this opening up, you were asking that, Judy. I really don't know. I mean, the last communication that came from the Q this week is that they're not going to allow guests into the studio until September.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, that's
I know. I mean, they're allowing them in every other place. I'm not sure what they're doing at HSN, but QVC said September 15th. So I know, and I've got a TSB coming up, and I was so hoping that the governor would like open up the state a little bit and loosen up the reins. So yeah, look at that. That's my famous pink jacket, which quite honestly, I own, honestly, 10 of those jackets.
It's so cute.
Leather. So they're not even real leather. So you throw them in the wash machine. And I have them, they're in like every suitcase, whenever I go. That's my signature pink jacket. Because I can eat whatever I want, and it's got elastic under the arms, and it fits me no matter what I eat or what I do.
Dry cleaning for you.
Throw her right in the wash machine and hang her up. That's it.
Well, I just want you to know, I know I didn't really need to point it out, but we wore your signature favorite color for you today. We wore pink.
Oh my God! Look, and I didn't.
It's in honor of you. And if you look very carefully, you'll even notice that my font colors below our pictures are your shades.
I thought this was salmon.
Well,
I love pink. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why I'm wearing blue and white today, but I mean, I just love pink. I just do. It's like. Yeah.
It's very
so pretty on your skin.
Pretty. Yes, it looks good on everybody. Okay, so speaking of looking good, girl, you have some splaining to do. You were Mrs. America?
Yeah, back in the day. That's how this whole craziness started.
What year was it? South, North, or Central?
What year?
Pardon?
South, America, Central America, or North America?
Central, Paul.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I don't know if my feed is frozen because I can't see you, but
Oh.
yeah, back in the day in 1992, I won the Mrs. America pageant, and that's how all the QVC stuff started. Like and I'd never done pageants before, and I was watching it on television, and at the time, my husband at the time said, "You should do that," and I was like, okay, I will. Oh, there it is with Florence Henderson. Okay, there you go. I'm unfrozen now.
Yes.
And yeah, and so I did the Pennsylvania pageant, and then you go to the state pageant. Well, even my dad, God rest his soul, my whole family was in San Diego, and we all fly out there, and I've never done any pageants before. It just really wasn't my thing. And not that I always love to watch them because I love the gowns. Like I love the fashion, and I would love the gown. So I always watch pageants. And so when I made it to the national pageant for the Mrs. America pageant, my whole family comes out for it. And my dad goes to me, like, God rest his soul. He goes, Doris, he goes, I love you. He goes, I really don't think you're going to win.
Aww.
But I'm like, thanks a lot, Dad.
Thanks for the pep talk.
That sounds like something my dad would have said.
No.
And
yeah, but I love you, and you're beautiful,
Yes,
and it
yes.
doesn't matter.
You know
And
what, though, Doris, I have figured it out because it used to bother me, and I would say, "What? Why would you say that?" And I think he once, because I wrote him a letter one time, and I said, it kind of hurt my feelings, and I'm your daughter, and a daughter needs to be hugged when she's down and hugged when she's up. And so I don't understand why you would be discouraging me. And he said, this is so sweet. He said, I guess it's hard to describe the love that a parent has for their child. And I don't want you ever to be disappointed. So
yeah, I know why you say
protect you. I'm trying to protect, you know what I mean? And your dad was doing the same thing with you.
He was.
Now wait a minute. I got a question. So
Sure.
Was it the talent part of it, or?
No, I wouldn't have won.
Well, you would have won the Dunkin' Donuts category.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
But
I would have. No, I know why. I actually know why I won. I know why I won. I won because, like I said, I had never really done. I did some modeling and stuff like that when I was younger, but never anything like to that scale and television and any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And my question, I know I won because I nailed the answer to my question. And to this day, my question, it not that it haunts me, but my question was this. It said, how did the adage, a woman's place is in the home, how did it go? How did the adage, a woman's place is in the home?
in the kitchen?
No,
Barefoot
something like
and pregnant?
how did the adage, a woman's place is in the home, something to do with society now or something like that, something crazy. So I have, it'll come to me. It's like that tip of the tongue.
Well, what did you answer?
Well, I just kind of, said with the changes in the economic situation that, women don't have that luxury or opportunity to stay at home anymore. And sometimes, I went to this whole thing and I said, well, I'm a doctor and I'm a mom. And I don't know. Like everybody was going, woo, woo, like, and even the judge didn't even know what the word adage meant.
Right.
So, so I know that's why I won. It wasn't because I had a talent. It wasn't because I was the prettiest.
Wait. Look at your screen, Doris, because Noel Hughes would disagree with you. Is talking a talent? Doris could win that contest for sure.
I totally could.
Did you at least say something about
so
world
cute.
Peace?
No, I didn't say anything about world peace. I didn't say anything about that. But I did get like I had all that but I did get all that down. But it was a life-changing experience for me. Pageants back then were like a really, really big deal. And It opened a tremendous amount of doors for me. There wasn't as much negative things. You got to remember, this was back in 1992. So, it was a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So, but I went to the Rose Bowl, and I traveled all the 50 states, and met all kinds of women and did all kinds of events. And that's what landed me on QVC. So it really changed my life. And I was never someone that talked a lot. Like I didn't know any of that stuff.
You're making up for lost time.
I know, right? Well, I do come from a big family, Paul. And if you don't speak, you don't eat.
I got that.
Yeah, he does too.
Yeah.
How many kids in yours?
Well, there are 4 kids. My one brother, he passed when he was 28. He was killed in a car accident. But we had foster brothers and sisters. So I had 5 foster brothers and sisters, not all at the same time. We had 2, and then they went back home, and then 3. So there was always a lot of kids, and it was one of those things that I was a middle kid. Like you had to fight. You know what I mean? It's like, the oldest daughter, she got everything, the son, and then I had my younger brother, and he was the baby. So I had to fight for everything.
Well, I wonder if that's the reason that you only had one, because this picture is so precious. And this young man is your only child?
That's right. That's my baby. That was an amazing. Let me tell you something that's so funny about that day. Like, Devin and Caitlin have been together since they were 16. They met at their first job at the Acme. She was a checker and he was a bagger. So, and he had the hots for her right from the very, very beginning. And he would come home, oh, Mom, there's this girl. She's a checker. I'm trying to get my way up to being a bagger so I can get on her, aisle.
Yeah.
And so they started dating, and he's like, Mom, don't pick me up. I said, you get done at 9:00. He wasn't driving then. Don't come till 9:30. Don't come till 9:30. I'm like, all right. So they dated, and I really give compliments to her because she's the one that kind of kept him straight and narrow, if you know what I'm saying, like kept him roped in a way that, I mean, he has a lot of friends, and I love them all because, listen, I had an only child. I could only ever have one child. He was premature. He was 3 months early. And so he's my miracle baby. And they said if I was to have another one, I could die. So we're happy, it didn't matter. So I chose, I've got one. God bless me with one. I have one, and that's good. And sometimes I don't know how people do it with 2 or 3, because I remember. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
A handful, huh?
I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, I went through sleep deprivation for about 18 years. But,
18 years.
But I remember that day. I remember when he got married, and the whole thing up. And like I said, Caitlin, she's worked with me, and she is just, I couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law. Like, I'm incredibly blessed. And I think when you really care for the person that your child has chosen, that's really a miracle, and that's really truly a blessing.
Yeah.
But I remember when they got married, I never thought I was going to be like one of those like kind of out there moms. He comes walking down, and we're getting ready, and it's like raining, and they were supposed to be outside at this lake and all this whatever drama for the day. And we ended up having it inside, and he walks to the altar, and I see him walk out, and I lost it. Like, absolutely. I'm not a big crier. I'm a fixer. I'm the type of person that's like, okay, what's the problem? Let's break it down. Let's figure it out. And my husband looked at me, he goes, what is the matter with you? I'm like, I just love him so much. And then all of a sudden, Kate comes down looking like
an angel. Yeah.
And you watch him and you watch her. I'm the type of person, like, I catch her, and I had already seen her and coming in, and she's a beautiful soul, just and beautiful girl, period. And I just watched those two, and I knew from that time on that I didn't lose him, but I knew that I wasn't going to be the number one woman in his life. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's like kind of crappy, Paul, about having a boy. Just saying. Girls, you never lose, but you know, they live a mile from me. We text and talk every day, or I see her, and which is amazing. But the true moment was Dev went into the hospital, I think for something, and he wasn't feeling well or something like that. And they come in and they're doing the paperwork, and they said, who is like, you're in case of emergency. And he looks right at me and he goes, sorry, Mom, like this. And he says, my wife, Caitlin. He's getting me, son.
Yes. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out.
Who is she to take off? You have no idea to sleep at. No, it's so funny. But I couldn't have asked for a better daughter-in-law. I really couldn't. They're yin and yang. They're like you guys. Like, I mean, they're a storyteller. They're you know, I'm lucky and I'm happy, and she's so cute, and he's like sending me pictures of him putting himself together in the car seat, getting it ready, and with his diaper bag. And I'm like,
have a name? I know Paul asked you what you're going to be called, but do we have a name for this new child coming into the world?
we do. His name's going to be Easton.
Easton.
Oh.
I love it. And,
So
yeah,
he's a country singer.
yeah, it's Baby E. Easton. His name is Easton, and
Easton Dalton.
no, Martineau. So Dalton is my maiden name. So
Okay.
yeah, so I've always kept my maiden name
In
through
business.
all of my many marriages. No, I've had two.
Judy
I've only
said
had two. I've been married to my husband now for 21 years. So, but yeah, so his last name is Martineau, and so he'll be Easton Francis Martineau. And I don't know, I'm like, it's
That's
like,
like regal.
yeah, it's like flowing off my tongue. You know? It's like Easton. So he's Baby E to me now, you know. But I went on Etsy, and I have bought every single thing that you can possibly buy to have that baby monogram.
Let the spoiling begin.
Oh, Paul, it's so bad. I'm so bad.
Oh.
It's like when you only have one, it's easy, right? You know, I only have one, and so they get everything. They, you know, it's like that's it. Other than my pets,
Yeah.
oh, you know. So, but yeah, I bought everything. I mean, everything. So it's funny, but he's coming any day. She's starting to dilate. So I mean, it's so weird. I never thought I'd be like the woman that was like excited to be a grandparent.
Yeah.
Because I'm so busy in my life. You know what it's like, Judy and Paul, you're doing things and running and whatever. And all my friends kept saying, you wait. When that grandchild comes, it's going to be so different. You wait.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not like you. I'm different. I'm so immersed.
I'm not going to cry at the wedding. No.
Yeah.
I was an absolute embarrassment. The way I was crying at that, I mean, my husband, he goes, what are you doing?
No,
like this whimpering, like, fool. I'm like, no.
Did they have one of those like gender reveal parties or anything like that?
They did. Let me see if I have it. I might have it. Let me see. Yep, they did. It's so cute. They ate cupcakes. And I have to tell you, this is how bad I am, right? I mean, I really am. I'm naughty. I don't know if I can find it, and I don't want to waste time looking for it. But so Michelle, that's Kate's mom, she got the cupcakes filled with the icing, and they were sitting at her house, right? And I'm texting her. I'm like, stick your finger in it. Just stick your finger. She's like, no, I can't. She's like, being so good, right? And I'm like, they'll never know. Just put the cake back together. Just stick your finger in it. So I get over to Michelle and Jerry's house, right? And waiting for the kid. I call them the kids. I mean, they're 30. Waiting for the kids to come. And they show up. But before they got there, just an FYI, before they got there, I had turned the cupcakes upside down and I could kind of see like maybe moving. So I cheated. So I knew. And I turned it back over like that. I didn't think I would, but I'm like, I'm a little curious. So I'm like looking through the cupcake, like, and I see it on both cupcakes. It's like greenish. And when you take blue and yellow, it makes green. So now I know it's a boy. And I flipped them over. My face must have went white. And I looked at Shaw. I go, I know. She goes, you do? Tell me. I said, no. I'm not going to say nothing. They're coming. I'm not going to say anything. And I almost felt a little guilty because I kind of cheated, but I knew it was going to be a boy.
Yeah.
And so that's why she's wearing.
That's why
you're wearing blue today.
We figured it out.
It could be it subconsciously. I don't know. Maybe. I don't typically wear blue, but I was just like, it's Memorial Day weekend here, and it's probably warm in Florida, but we still haven't gotten that, like, Judy and Paul, it's usually by this time it's like, it's warm, and I don't know, it just hasn't been. I hear this week it's supposed to warm up, but it's kind of not. We've had crappy weather, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can wear, it's like kind of like, well, I didn't want to wear a jacket, but it's not.
I love it. But I also loves Paul's
what?
Idea that she didn't even know. She subconsciously was choosing blue because she knew I'd be bringing up the fact that she was going to be a grandma, because I said it in my promotion of you yesterday.
Oh, you did? I didn't see that. Oh.
I did.
Yesterday I was doing call-ins all day because we had a bunch of shows in the UK. So
when do your shows in Germany start? Aren't you really busy this weekend and into the
So Judy, I had them load me up, like, because I knew I wanted to take time off for the baby, right? And I never take time off. I haven't taken a vacation in, I don't know, at least a decade, right? So, I mean, literally, and I don't know. I mean, just because I love my work, like, I guess if you don't love your work, you look forward to a vacation, but I just really love what I do. I just really do. So I'm very fortunate that way. But, so I had shows in the UK, literally fly the morning. I would have been flying this morning, kicking off at TSV in Germany tonight, all day tomorrow, fly to Italy, kicking off at TSV on Tuesday night, all day Wednesday, and then fly home. And the baby's due June 2nd. And then I took like a couple weeks off. So now I'm home. So if he comes early or does whatever he wants to do, whenever he feels like, hanging out, I'm here, I'm home. But they start tonight, and they're just brief. Like, I just want everybody to know that, like, even though I can't be there, it's not like I just, this is, my brand. It's really my passion. So I don't want anyone to think like in Germany or Italy or the UK that just because I can't be there doesn't mean I'm not there. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, just because there's another face that's, with the product doesn't mean that if I could be there, I would be there.
Sure.
And I love it. So I'm just so lucky. I really am just blessed.
I think they know that, Doris, and they feel it comes through with everything you do. I really do. I do believe that is very true.
Oh, thank you. I do. I really am. I'm lucky. I've had an interesting life, to say the least.
Yeah. And it's fun because we see it just like you were saying, when we get together, this is you. Even your hands in this picture are welcoming, your little face, you're all excited to talk. You can't wait to tell everybody. But I have one more question before we let you go. Where did the Dalton come from? This name for your company and your business and your products?
Okay. Interesting story. So when we started creating products, Dalton, when we started creating products, the products were really meant to be easy, take the chaos out of makeup. Like, I'm not a makeup artist, but I know every woman deep inside, wants to look and feel pretty. Like, I don't know one woman that says, I don't want to look and feel pretty, but there were so many women that didn't know how to do makeup and really struggle with that. So part of the products that we create is the ease. Like, to do what they say they're going to do. I mean, I know as a woman, if I have to read instructions there's 5 screws left, right? I'm not going to read instructions. So I wanted to create products that were really efficacious, that were really easy. So we wanted stuff that, like, to steal 10 minutes out of your day so you could get ready, because time is your most precious asset. That's the only thing in the world that you can't buy is time.
Very true.
So it was something, if you could take 10 minutes, get ready. So interesting enough, that's why we came, it was a 10-minute thing. But if you break it down,
Oh, so
doll
that's
10,
what it was. 10. I thought it was because when you use the doll products, you'd look like a 10.
no, it's to getting
think
dolled up in 10 minutes or less. But if you really, now let me take it one step further.
Okay.
If you go to Google or you go to Webster Dictionary and you punch in my last name,
Okay.
Dalton,
Yeah.
it will come up as Dolten. So Dalton and Dalton is
meant to be. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love
So
that. Okay, yes, definitely meant to be. And 10 minutes. I might have to call mine Get Fit with Judy 10. I'd have to steal
well,
that.
I mean, if you think about it, Judy, quite
My
honestly,
videos are 10 minutes
Yeah.
because people don't have time and they don't like to work out and they don't want to. But if you say, all right, guess what just happened? 10 minutes just went by. You could have stronger arms. You could
Judy
have
Crowell
thinner
arms.
thighs, flatter tummy, Judy Crowell arms. I have a video actually.
you're a lucky man, Paul DC.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. By the way, anyone who does like directions to cure themselves of that, buy something from IKEA.
Oh,
Because the directions.
oh, you have 5 nails left too.
No,
after
like
you've built
17.
I don't. I can't even see anymore anyway, and I can't find my glasses. So if it comes with instructions, we're all like, forget it.
Needs to be really, really, really easy. Well, everybody wants to know when they're going to be able to see you again here. They also want to know when you're going to be able. Are you going to post your grandbaby pictures on your Facebook page?
Try and stop her.
Of course.
Exactly. Okay. Just making sure.
It might get to the point, Judy, that they're not going to want to know that. They're going to ask me to stop doing it. I'm a little worried they're going to go like, Doris, enough. It's not, I'm not for the grandbaby picture. No, of course. As soon as the baby comes, and I can't wait. I mean, it's weird because I can't go into the hospital.
Right. I know that's got to be very,
so
very.
I mean, he's going to come and I'm not going to see him for like how long they keep women in the hospital now.
Yeah.
Well, it depends too. Like I remember with my son, they had to take him straight to the kind of the incubator room.
Probably what happened to you with your son being 3 weeks premature or 3 months premature. I mean,
he didn't come home for 3 months. He was in the hospital for 3 months.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, he was in there and I was there every day for 3 months. It was a lot. I mean, he's as healthy as an ox now. He's a good little boy. He's smart, man. I'm really proud of him. But so I'm thinking this little baby's going to be born. I'll be sitting in the parking lot. I won't even get to see him.
I know. Oh my gosh. Well,
Don't they know how anxious I'm going to be?
Yes, a little bit. A little bit.
There'll be a lot of noise out in that parking lot. They'll all know how anxious.
She's going to hire one of those lift trucks and she's going to be up at the window.
One of those window washing units.
Why not? Pet me now. Don't make me think outside the box. I could get one of those things. I'll be up in the window.
Like $400 a half day. So,
Look what Chrissy said. Get Fit with Judy and 10. Perfect name. See, I might have to steal it from you, Doris.
Well, listen, I'm all about that. Judy, take it because you know what? Really, as a woman,
in
10 minutes is a luxury. 10 minutes is just really a luxury. I mean, you might feel like you've got a lot of downtime right now, but this is going to pass.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going
to pass. And 10 minutes, if you can do that with Growls for 10 minutes, and all they have to do is find 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you tell me an hour,
hold on.
I don't have an hour.
Time out. Time moves differently for men and for women. When Judy says 10 minutes, I know that's an hour.
What do you say?
Paul. Don't you know that country song, Waiting on a Woman?
The honeymoon's over, Doris. The honeymoon's
Come on. Paul, at the end of this, before you drive off on the pontoon boat into the sunset, you need to Google that song, Waiting on a Woman.
I know.
Promise me that you'll do that.
Oh,
Best
it's
song
totally worth
ever.
I love that
It's
song.
totally worth the wait.
Isn't that Brad Paisley?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. And I love the video too because it's the guy from he's what's his name? He was the guy from not a sitcom, but
I haven't seen the video. I just have that song on my playlist because I'm a big country music fan.
I love country music. I'm an old farm girl. You know, I grew up on a farm, so we had a pig farm. Don't ask. Just don't ask.
Yeah, that's for another day. That's for another day.
That's another Sunday. What day?
Funday.
It's always
Sunday.
fun.
Guess the occupant. Guess. But yeah, I can't remember his name. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, listen, Paul. 10 minutes for a woman. Yeah, it's an hour. Not gonna lie. Somebody should invent. You're the gemologist. You're the jewelry guy.
Right.
You should invent a his and hers watch.
Right. They move it
So
different.
when she says
They
10
move
minutes,
it
it all
Well, listen, we're not at
That's
we're
funny.
not at the place where, and you have to watch some of the videos because we're not at the place where we complete each other's sentences, because Judy's mouth works a lot faster than her brain.
Yeah.
most creative people. I see Joshua just said Andy Griffith. That's right.
Is that the right one? Yes.
Is that's his name? That was the
actor.
Andy Griffith was the sitcom.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guy that played Andy Griffith is the guy that's in the music video.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
thank you for that.
Yeah, Josh.
I'm glad that you did, because you know what? As soon as we were done, I'm
Drives
going
you
to go
crazy.
Google it.
I know. It drives you crazy. And you'd come up with it as soon as we said goodbye.
I know, so I'd be like, "What?" I do.
She's calling back in.
Who's your favorite country singer, Judy?
Oh, I've always been a big Vince Gill fan. Do you go far back with real country music? I just think he has such an angelic voice. I'm also a big Thomas Rhett fan.
Yeah, we like Thomas.
We love
Okay.
Thomas Rhett's
Zach
music.
Brown.
Yeah, Tim McGraw. I mean, and every year for the last 5 years, we go to a Tortuga Music Festival in Fort Lauderdale. And it's massive. I mean, tens of thousands of people go, and it's on the beach. And they have 3 different band setups, 3 different stages set up, and they're at least a half a mile apart. So you've got some serious walking in between the different venues. But they have amazing talent, and we've really had a good time. It's like a whole weekend, Thursday through Sunday.
It's usually April. Obviously canceled this year.
It was canceled this year, of course.
They're gonna
It'll be next year. I'll go with you guys.
There you go.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. And so that's another great way. That's where we saw Maren Morris
when she was
for the first time.
when she was just new.
Yes, and she's the one who does My Church
Mhm.
about the being in the car, and that's her church, and she's sinned and she's lied and she's cheated and she's stolen, but when she gets in her car and she turns on the radio and she hears Hank Williams and she hears Johnny Cash, like that, that touches her soul. And that was the first time at Tortuga Music Festival.
Kelsey Ballerini before she was anybody.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they all start out, right? I mean, they
lot
all start out at the festivals before you have to pay $2,000 for a ticket to see them.
That's right.
I love them. I go way back. One of my favorite country songs is Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places.
Oh,
I love Garth Brooks.
One of my favorite songs. But you know who I really like right now? And they remind me so much. I met Rascal Flatts.
You did?
I did meet them. I love them. I actually got tickets for my son and my daughter-in-law to go see Rascal Flatts.
So
I didn't get to see him for years,
You can
but
talk about Dan and Shay, I bet.
yes, Dan and Shay. Oh my God, do you love them?
Well, I just said, when you said the voice is very similar.
Yes.
They have great harmonies.
They have, yes, it does. And sometimes when you turn on and you hear a sound, you're like, wait, is that Dan and Shay or is that Rascal Flatts? And
I know. I
so
love
good.
them.
Such pretty singing voices. And they're just this is their last tour this year.
Yeah,
isn't
Rascal
it?
Flatts,
I wonder if they'll change, because probably their venues have had to shut down. Remember, this is their 20th anniversary, final tour thing. But that was,
I love Rascal Flatts.
They were the first
danced
people
with my
I saw
son.
in concert too. And it was a big concert. And I took his daughter when she was 10 years old with me, just the 2 of us. And we went to this country music concert. She's been a country music fan ever since. We saw Rascal Flatts, Brad Paisley, Toby Keith. I mean, and it was up in right across the bridge. It was just over the border from Philadelphia into New Jersey.
Yeah.
So it was a huge venue, and we were like in the 20th row. I was out of my mind, so happy. And she was just here's this little 10-year-old, like sensory overload.
Oh, that's so good. I just love you know what I love about country music is that I love stories, and it's you can connect. It's just such great storytelling.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not, and there's something about every country song that you can emotionally somehow
relate to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
I danced to my son at his wedding, Little Rascal Flats.
Did you? Yeah. That's awesome.
Love country music. Gotta bring the little country girl out in me.
Listen, lady, we have to say adios to you.
No, yes, I'm having so much fun.
It feels like we just got started. I think that we have had the longest Sunday Funday show in the history of Sunday Funday shows.
With you right now. Yeah. Yeah. So you got that going for you. Put that on the resume.
Well, I like to set a little record every now and then.
But it's been so much fun, and we had so much to talk about, and like we could spend another hour and completely change the subject and come up with 15 more. So I hope you'll be our guest again.
Oh, absolutely. I told you I should be an octopus. I got so many stories up my sleeve.
Well, I am just reminding everybody that this is where they can find you, QVC and HSN around the world, Dalton Beauty. And they can also find you on Facebook under Doris Dalton or Dalton Beauty. And there you do all kinds of shows and all kinds of neat giveaways. And so we can tune in and see you whenever we want.
Yep.
Yes, please do. Please do. This is best Sunday. I'm so enjoyed myself. Thank you so much for having me on and allowing me to part of your Sunday.
Well, it was a pleasure, doll. Literally, you are a doll.
Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. All right.
Have a wonderful weekend. Cheers to you too.
Thanks.
Till next time.
Thanks, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Bye. Yay. So much fun. That was great.
That was
what
a false
show.
That last one was a false toast. I'm out.
Oh.
That's how I knew it's a longer show.
But we did want to talk just a little bit more with you who've hung in there with us this morning, because we always like to end by reminding you of videos that are coming out and or released already.
Yeah.
And I have one to show. If I can pull this up in the stream,
Okay.
I'm going to mute us so that everyone can hear this one. Okay. All right. Bring it all the way up and all the way down. And up, and all the way down. One more time, up, and all the way down. Good. I feel like I could do another 15 minutes of this. A seated, total body chair workout. That's what you just did, and you can do it as often as you want to. Now, before you leave, do another couple of stretches with me. Let's bring that left arm over across your chest and put your left hand on your shoulder and just give it a nice, easy tug, okay? Now in the other direction. Good. You should feel much better. I think that's my doorbell. Perfect timing. So
who was there?
Yeah, basically, that's the one that's coming out tomorrow morning. I obviously didn't show you the whole workout, but it's 10 minutes. And for people who either have bad knees or don't have a lot of room to move around, but you have a chair, you can actually work your arms, your abs, and your hips in 10 minutes sitting in a chair. But I showed that one to you because of the funny ending. It really was the doorbell. My friend was coming over. I had just finished it. It was probably my third or fourth take of this chair workout because I forgot some things that I wanted to add in. And when I do those, because I have music under the videos, I can't just stop and then cut in other things because it has to keep rolling.
Right.
So all of the videos I do are start to finish one take. So then the doorbell rang and I thought, I am not going to do this again.
Because it was the Westminster Chimes, you could have said, oh, that's our grandfather clock. We have this incredible antique grandfather and it does the chimes.
Yeah, I could have, but I didn't. That is what our doorbell sounds like. I think it was Beth.
Yeah, well,
she was coming over to say hi. And then the other one that I wanted to show, Rod said, I need to work out in the worst way. Yeah, so this, I think you'll really like it. It's coming out tomorrow morning at 9 Eastern time, but it lives on the YouTube channel, so you can watch it anytime. And then here's another one. So I'll mute us again because then you get to explain. You get to explain yourself.
Explaining to do.
Yeah, some
Okay.
explaining to do for you.
And he showed us something that looked an awful lot like cauliflower, how it finishes up. That is a beautiful and shiny stone. And the best part about it, it is completely natural and untreated. Now, and we got into a national forest and we started to climb. It was amazing. It just, we rounded a curve and it just opened up. And you see just a mountain of white rock.
So
Short and sweet. That
Short and
was
sweet.
a compilation of a trip that Judy and I took to a mine in a national forest about 4 hours outside of Las Vegas. We had never seen that gem before, and we fell in love with it. We both designed with that stone.
we did.
So it's a little visit to let you know what it's like to be at a mine.
And it's so funny. I'll say to Paul, okay, for Sunday Funday tomorrow, just give me about 30 to 45 seconds of, one of the videos that just came out. I have a feeling we're getting wind noise. And then he sends them to me, and I put them in the staging area, or the green room, if you will, so that I can pull them up to show you. And they're staccato, like your videos.
Boom, boom, boom.
And I always think it's a jump cut. It's, what does he do? And then I have to watch for a little while and realize, oh, you're choosing highlights.
Yes, of little bits. Because I am not.
Because editing is not that bad.
I'm not the editor of the family, but I did it quickly. We're about to lose our lights.
I know, it's
Windy out here.
very windy out here. That's why I wore my little hat. And Glenna loves your jet videos.
Thank you.
So if you haven't seen that one, Glenna, that one is already out on YouTube now.
And her last name is Gold. Did you see that?
Yeah, how about that?
Oro.
Yes, Oro. I guess we've taken up a lot of your time today, but it's been really fun, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself too. I always leave these videos right on my page so you can go back, or people who've gone to church earlier this morning.
We get a lot of later watchers.
Yeah. So,
but share it if you want.
good idea.
I always do.
Mm-hmm.
And we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yes, and we're not quite sure who our guest will be, but it's always worth waiting to find out. We'll make some phone calls. Yes?
I had an idea. I'll talk to you off camera about this.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, until I hear it again.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's right. You're out. Okay. I won't rub it in since you can't toast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.